Jet 1212, let's go. Boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Hello and a big welcome to the channel. I'm the Motorsport Madman and this is the 2022 French Grand Prix. If you are new to the channel, if you are a Formula 1 fan, then get yourself subscribed because I'm live for every single qualifying and every single race from the Formula 1 World Championship. And if you do enjoy the stream, please do drop me a like because it really helps out the channel. So yeah, who have we got in the chat? Welcoming Martin Ross, welcoming Chris Poundcoin, welcoming Tax as well, and Ernesto. Let's go, guys. Who's up for the French Grand Prix? Of course, we've got Charles Leclerc on pole position, but Carlos Sainz in the other Ferrari at the back of the grid with Kevin Magnussen after taking engine penalties, brand new engine components for them, breaching the 3 that they're allowed to use for all season. So they're taking massive grid penalties. So you've got one Ferrari at the front, one Ferrari at the back. So it is Leclerc versus both Red Bulls. Max Verstappen lines up P2 and Sergio Perez starts the French Grand Prix from P3. Can Leclerc beat both Red Bulls in France today? I tell you what, he was looking quick in there. He was looking quick, and Ferrari were looking rapid in qualifying. Can they take that pace through to the race? We're about to find out. We're about 6 or 7 minutes away from the start. But yeah, how are we doing, guys? How are we doing? I'm going to try out a new thing as well. I'm going to see if we can get live GPS on. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But we've got to keep trying these new features and see if we can keep up in the game. So yeah, if it doesn't work, the live GPS, then it doesn't. But we'll give it a go. But yeah, how are we doing? Obviously, just warming up for the race now. Race start at 2 PM, so about 6 or 7 minutes away. I can't wait. Is this round 12 now? Round 13? This is second half of the season now. This is round 12 of 22. And home race, as we've seen Esteban Ocon on the TV. We've got Esteban Ocon home race. I went a bit wild in my predictions. I went for an Ocon podium, which was it really was madman mode, that one. But yeah, Ocon, where is he even starting from? P10 Ocon. So if Ocon gets a podium from there, well, you heard it here first. It would be a bit of a French miracle. Gasly, the other guy it's his home race, but they're having a bit of a nightmare out for Tauri. Even with the upgrade, Gasly 14th on the grid, so bit of a nightmare. But yeah, the Hamilton as well. A word on Mercedes. You know, the thing is, Hamilton up there in P4 looks all right, but they seem to be like a second off the pace all of a sudden. They're coming off the back of great pace in Silverstone, pretty much decent pace in Austria, and then it seems to have fallen off. You know, Mercedes bringing a new floor, but they seem to be further back than they've been. But yeah, I'm good, Ernesto. I'm good. We're just going through the intro stuff now. Did the intro work? Because I'm trying to get the real F1 intro at the beginning of the stream, but I don't know if the sound is on. I don't know if it's like proper glitchy. But yeah, let me know. I know this camera's a little bit, because I've got that much stuff now. I feel like I've added that much. The laptop's struggling with this Streamlabs now. It's yeah, so I do apologise if it's a little bit laggy, but yeah. And if this is really bad, I can change the settings. We'll see how we go with the green screen. I can mess with that if we get into it and it's really bad. But yeah, it seems not too bad actually. We might get away with it. But yeah, here we go then. Lenovo Grand Prix de France 2022, fancy name. In Le Castellet. This is the circuit Paul Ricard. In fact, I'm going to get the headphones on, so I know what's going on, and then I can relay it to you. 53 laps we've got ahead of us. 15 corners. So, what's everyone's predictions for the win then? Let me just sort out this wire. And make sure the live timings. Afternoon, Simon. How are we doing? Welcome into the stream, lad. Make sure these live timings will work. Hot day in France again. 33 degrees. So will Ferrari's engines hold on in this kind of a heat? You know, if they're blowing up in Austria when it was a good 10 degrees cooler than this, are they gonna combust in the 33 degree heat in France today? Who knows? You know, I was saying before, how many times this season have both Red Bulls and both Ferraris seen the checkered flag? Not that more often than not, at least one of those top four failed to finish. So will it be a case of that today? Obviously, we've got, like I was saying right at the beginning, we've got one Ferrari at the front and one Ferrari at the back. We're going to get a grid rundown then, starting grid. So it's Kevin Magnussen with the penalty P20. Carlos Sainz, sorry. Sainz as well with a penalty in 19th. Latifi 18th. Mick Schumacher will start 17th. Zhou Guanyu P16. Lance Stroll P15. Gasly his home race, only 14th on the grid. Alexander Albon P13. You've got Sebastian Vettel 12th. Valtteri Bottas just outside the top 10 there, P11. He'll be looking for points today. Esteban Ocon P10 at his home race today in France. Daniel Ricciardo on an upward trajectory, a bit of a better qualifying for him, ends up P9 after the grid penalties. Tsunoda 8th. Alonso P7 in the Alpine. That's a good qualifying from him and Alpine. George Russell P6. Lando Norris splits the Mercedes in P5. Great quality for him. Lewis Hamilton on the second row of the grid. Can he do anything from there? Will Mercedes have the pace? The top three of Perez, Verstappen and Charles Leclerc starts the French Grand Prix from pole position. So let's go. Latifi P10. No, don't back that. Where's he starting from? 18th. If Latifi goes from 18th to 10th, I'll send you some sugar-free pop, Chris. I'll send you some sugar-free Red Bull. How about that? Here we are with close-up of Esteban Ocon ahead of his home race. I think they had a bit of a nightmare, Ocon and Gasly. I don't know if it was last year or the year before, but they were both out at like turn one, both French drives, I'm sure. It might be 2-3 years ago that now, but they had a bit of a nightmare. Hello, Farhan. Welcome to the stream. You're just in time for the start of the French Grand Prix. I'm out of IPA. Right. How are we doing? How laggy are we? Are we how laggy are we on a 1 to 10? Is my mouth in time with the audio? Or are we on a big lag? Because looking at the stream, like, it's definitely, yeah. I need to, and maybe I need to like simplify a couple of things, because the laptop's going, I can't handle this, you know. Too many things going on, especially with that Formula One intro as well. I have to get that actual F1 intro. I have to hook up the Xbox as well. So it's like I'm streaming a game and this at the same time, mate. It's all going off. In fact, I'm going to unplug that. That might help the situation. I'm going to unplug that. We don't need the Xbox, do we? We don't need the Xbox on as well, just to add more complications. Right, let me sort this out. But yeah, we're on the warm-up lap. We are on the formation lap. Come on then, I want to see predictions in chat, guys. Who are we saying? Who takes the win today in circuit Paul Ricard? Leclerc, Verstappen, Perez, maybe an outsider, maybe a Lewis Hamilton, but that would be, you get good odds for a Hamilton win today, considering Mercedes' pace through practice and quali. They seem to be a bit off it, but you never know. He could pull a madness out of the bag. He could, you know, Lewis could do a madness, and you never know. You never know in this world of Formula One. Max for P1, Max, yeah. 2 votes for Max. I should do a little poll at the start of the stream, shouldn't I? Who's going to win? I'll have a little poll at the start of each stream, you know, like, who's going to win, and it'd be like Leclerc, Verstappen, Sainz, Latifi. Do you know what I mean? Chuck him in, just in case. Oh, right. They're taking it easy around this formation lap. Oh, that previous winners got Raikkonen won in those. It came back in 2018. What? Oh, there wasn't a French Grand Prix for a decade. Wow. Yeah, because they used to race at Magny-Cours until 2008. And then there was like a decade of no French Grand Prix. That's mad, really. Considering the words Grand Prix is French. The whole idea is French. A decade without a French Grand Prix is a bit of a madness. And they're struggling to get a contract for next year on this circuit. They should go back to Magny-Cours, in my opinion. But it is Paul Ricard today, and we are lining up on the grid. You can actually hear the crowd, like, they're well up for it. Only fraction of a second, but it's a... Yeah, fraction of a second. Yeah. I feel like, yeah, it's just a fraction of a second out. A bit of a laggy, but... As long as it's not, like, too distracting where it's like, hello and welcome. Hello and welcome. You know what I mean? Like, hello. As long as it's not too bad. You know what I mean? Like a 1950s film or something. Right. Here we go. We are lining up. Oh, yeah, we're ready, boys. We're ready. We're ready. This is it. Oh, Carlos Sainz at the back. Where can he end up? This is a big story, you know. Where's Carlos Sainz going to end up? I'm going to say... Sixth. I say Sainz ends up 6th. Right, Sainz ends up 6th. How many S's in one sentence? Right, here we go. Here comes Kevin Magnussen. I'm the safety car. Pulling up to the back. Here comes your man with the green flag. Go on then. He's on the full sprint of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And he's go in France, and it's a good start from there. Leclerc, he keeps the lead straight away from Max Verstappen. And look at Lewis Hamilton. He's going to try down the inside of both Red Bulls. Go on then, Lewis into second. No, but I tell you what, Max Verstappen keeps P2. Oh, it doesn't let Lewis Hamilton pass, but Hamilton already passed Sergio Perez then into 3rd. So it's Leclerc, Verstappen, Hamilton. And look at the Red Bull. And there's Fernando Alonso's up there in 5th. Go on, Fernando. He's already passed both. Where did Alonso start? 7th. Alonso's up 2 positions. I think George Russell's fighting both McLarens there. Lando Norris round the outside of Daniel Ricciardo into turn 6. But it is Leclerc, Verstappen, and then Lewis Hamilton up from 4th to 3rd. Go on then, Lewis. Let's have a race today, lad. Let's have a race today. But look at this. Verstappen already right behind Charles Leclerc as he head into turn 8 for the very first time. I hope we get a good battle for the wheels. There's a spin, there's a crash. It's an AlphaTauri. Yuki Tsunoda's been spun round by, I think, Ocon. I think Ocon hit Tsunoda in turn 9. Ocon hit Tsunoda, so Tsunoda spun round. He's carried on, though. He's not out of the race. And look at this Aston Martin, Lance Stroll and Alexander Albon going side by side. The two Aston Martins battling for P10. Go on, the lads. I tell you what, Sainz is still at the back. Sainz has made absolutely no progress. Sainz is still 18th. In fact, Magnussen's made about 7 positions. Go on then, Kevin. Kevin's already passed Mick Schumacher, and Mick Schumacher started about 7 places in front. Magnussen has had the best first lap of anybody, from 20th to 13th. Go on, Kevin. They don't even realise this on Sky Sports. They're not even clocked that Kevin Magnussen's up 8 positions. Man's done a madness. It's Charles Leclerc that leads at the end of lap 1 then, from Max Verstappen by just over a second. Hamilton a second behind that, and Perez just over a second. And Fernando Alonso, again, he's the maestro, he's the big Donny, he's the veteran of the thing. And Fernando Alonso up to 5th. But here we have a replay then. Ocon versus Tsunoda in turn 9. Oh, and just... I mean, Ocon, a bit of understeer. Did Tsunoda leave him enough room? I'm going to say it's Ocon's fault, just about. But they'll probably give it a racing incident. His first lap, there's always a little bit of argy-bargy on the first lap. But look, as we see Max Verstappen all over the back of Charles Leclerc. Wow, what a first lap. Hamilton, P3, he's already up. Danny Rick is at P8, yes, tax. Lando Norris and Danny Ricciardo in the McLarens, P7 and 8. Magnussen up 7 positions. Let's go. Lance Stroll as well, up 5. Wow. Yes, Stroll's up from 15th to 10th. Hey, I'll tell you what, Lance Stroll doesn't get much of a mention in Formula 1, but that deserves a mention. Your man Lance Stroll, as Magnussen makes up another place from... Well, Albon and Magnussen must be side by side. The positions are switching like that. I never put the green flag on the stream, never mind. The thing is, we start lap 3 now. We've got DRS is going to become activated. But Leclerc is just over a second in front of Max Verstappen, and that is absolutely crucial, because if you don't know, to get the DRS down the straights, which is there's 2 DRS zones, down the main straight into turn 1 and down the back straight into turn 8, we've got 2 DRS zones, but you've got to be within a second of the car in front to get DRS, and Max Verstappen just over a second behind, so won't get it this lap. As we see a replay of the start then, Lewis with a great start. At one point, I thought Lewis was going to send it down the inside and go into P2. I was backing a Lewis to second place then for a minute. Here we go, replay on board with Lewis Hamilton then. Oh, he's ahead of Perez within 2 seconds. And he looks down the inside of Max Verstappen. If he brakes a bit later, you never know. You don't want to go side by side really into turn 1 with Max Verstappen. That could end badly. But look at this cut to Leclerc versus Verstappen. They've dropped Hamilton and Perez. This is a 2-way fight. Here we go. Round 12. How many times have we seen these guys? It's like last season with Hamilton and Verstappen. This season it's Leclerc, Verstappen. And Verstappen within a second now, crucially. 0.8 of a second, and they've dropped Lewis by 4 seconds, and he's holding up Sergio Perez. This is wrecking Perez's race. The longer he's stuck behind Lewis Hamilton, the worse it is for Sergio Perez. Oh, look at this. It's so close. Verstappen 0.3 of a second behind. He's all over the gearbox of Charles Leclerc. This is so close. I feel like Verstappen's going to get him. Just like Miami, he's hunting him down. Russell's passed Alonso, by the way, as well. So Russell's up into P5 again. Here we go then, down into turn 8. Leclerc versus Verstappen. Oh, Verstappen has a look, but he's just not quite close enough. Exiting turn 9. Team radio, Max Verstappen. Yeah, good pace. Don't do anything silly. Oh, this is nose to tail. Yeah, he's getting the slipstream is within that second. He's half a second. The gap as he heads down to turn 11 on lap 4. Oh, this is... We've got a proper battle on our hands today. Yeah, these guys have cleared Lewis by 4 seconds. They're pulling out a second a lap on him. Here we are on board with Max Verstappen then. Just over a second behind Leclerc as the end of the lap. So Leclerc's had a mega second half of that lap then to pull more than half a second out on Max Verstappen. But everybody on the medium tyres apart from Sainz, who's now up to P14, and then Gasly and Bottas, those 3 are on the hard tyres, but everybody else on the mediums. And the optimal strategy today seems to be the one stop, because the pit lane's so long that you lose 28 seconds taking a pit stop. So a 2-stop is not an ideal thing unless you get safety cars, virtual safety cars, etc. Then that changes the game. But these guys will all be going for 1-stop strategies if they can. And it's still nose to tail. And look at Lewis versus Sergio as well. Perez right behind Hamilton. So there's the battle for the lead and a battle for P3. Yeah, Max is getting so close. Welcome to the stream, Jenny. How are we doing? Look at how close it is here. Lewis is going to have to defend this. So he's wrecking Perez's race. The more that he gets stuck behind, lap by lap, they're 5 seconds away from the lead now, this pair of Hamilton and Perez. It's a nightmare for Sergio Perez. He needs to get the job done on Lewis. He needs to get that DRS down the back straight into turn 8 and get it done. Because that front two have left him for dead. Yes, Lewis, how are we doing? Welcome to the stream. This is lap 6 of the 2022 French Grand Prix. Leclerc versus Verstappen so close for the lead. 3.5 tenths as they head into turn 1. Max is hunting him down lap by lap. If he can get a decent first sector under his belt here and get a perfect exit out of turn 6, he'll get Charles. He's going to get DRS here down the back straight. How close can Max get now? Use all your battery, Max. You're going to use everything. Yes, Darren, they might be. He gets close, but not close enough as they head into turn 8. But Leclerc runs a bit wide. They're on the absolute limit. See, they've got to balance it. I see exactly what you're doing, Darren. They've got to balance it, because if they go absolutely hell for leather battling each other, they're going to lose out with tyres. But here comes Max then, down into turn 8, down into Le Bussier. They're nearly side by side. Max going for a move round the outside doesn't pay off. So close this. I feel like if Max gets through, he's gone. I feel he's so much quicker, but he's just stuck. Hamilton still holding up Sergio Perez as well. Russell over 2 seconds behind that. Wow. What a battle this is between Verstappen and Leclerc for the lead of the race. This is what we want to see. Yeah, this is. I feel like it's just a matter of time before Verstappen takes the lead. And Leclerc almost off the circuit there in the exit of turn 6. Here we go then, down the back straight again on lap 7. Is this the one? Is this it for Max? He has a little look. But the thing is, are these guys still going to stick to a one-stop strategy despite all this? This is the thing. They're going to be burning up the tyres, surely. They've got to balance, like, they're fighting each other, but they're... So close into turn 11. Again. Cheers, Martin. Yeah, drop a like if you are enjoying the stream. If you are into Formula 1, get yourself subscribed. I'm live for every single qualifying and race from the F1 World Championship. And we've got a cracker on our hands here with Verstappen all over the back of Charles Leclerc. Just woke up, long day on the drink. Yeah, I had a couple of long days as well. But we're here, we're going. Look at how close it is into turn one. This is a real duel, this. This is a duel in Paul Ricard for the win, this. They've dropped Hamilton by over 6 seconds now. Second track warning. Track limits warning for Sergio Perez. Yeah, Perez has got to be, massively early, like Paul di Resta is saying. It is early to be having a track limits warning 8 laps into a 53 lap race. Oh, Max having a look again. He's right behind. He's right behind, hustling Charles Leclerc. Is he trying to force? Is he trying to force Charles into a mistake? If Leclerc makes one mistake, Max is through. Yeah, Perez is not as close behind Hamilton as he was a couple of laps ago. Russell, well, Lewis on a charge in P3. If Lewis is quicker than Charles, we have got a race. We have got a race if Lewis is quicker than Charles. And at the end of lap 8 then, it is Leclerc from Verstappen by 3/4 of a second. Hamilton, 5.7 now the gap. So Hamilton pulled him back by half a second in that lap. Maybe Leclerc's tyres are going off. And he's holding up Max something chronic because Lewis is on his way back. Perez 1.7 behind Hamilton in 4th. Russell is P5 in the other Mercedes. Fernando Alonso 6th for Alpine ahead of Norris, who's 7th. Ocon P8, Ricciardo P9, and we've got Kevin Magnussen in the pits. Oh, here's Max having another look down the... Oh, look at how close this is. Welcome to the stream, Ryan Tune. How are you doing? You join us on lap 9 of the 2022 French Grand Prix as we're watching Leclerc versus Verstappen for the lead. Nose to tail they've been since lap 1. But Max just can't get close enough down that back straight. He always has a look, but just can't. Maybe he'll have to wait and do it during the strategies. Maybe he's going to wait for Charles to pit. What's he going to do? What strategy are these guys going to be on? Because, like I was saying, the optimal strategy is a one-stop. It's a one-stop race, but if you're going hell for leather like this, are you really going to make it to like lap 20? Lap 25? I'm not sure about that. Brilliant. I'm doing good, mate. I'm doing good. The F1's on. I'm happy. Sainz being told the pace is good. Sainz up to P12, by the way. Going along nicely. Yeah. Sainz going along nicely as the other Haas of Mick Schumacher pits then at the end of lap 10. Oh. Cut to Leclerc and Verstappen still nose to tail for the lead. Come on. I mean, if Leclerc wins this, he's not had it easy. Put it that way. If Leclerc wins this, it'll have been after a hell of a lot of the pressure. But yeah, I'm brilliant as well, Ryan. Pit stop window, right, medium. Two-stop strategy. This is the thing. You know, is Leclerc forced onto a two-stop strategy? Has he worn out his tyres? Are they now on a tyre management phase? This is where the race is going to unfold. These top two, what's the strategy? I mean, if Leclerc stops now, does Max follow him in at the end of the next lap, or does Max stretch out for a one-stop? Hamilton pretty much on the same pace as the leaders then. 5.9 seconds off the lead. That gap has been static for the last 2 or 3 laps. Well, this is what they're asking Gunter Steiner. Is a one-stop possible today? Yeah. Yeah, I think Haas, they're not doing a one-stop by the sound of what he's saying. A one-stop seems a bit of a stretch. Especially they've already stopped both Haas's by the end of lap 11. If Latifi pits last, then we're going to P10. No, he's going to finish P10. Yeah. I mean, if he's even in P10 for a second, you win the bet. All right then, I'll stick to you with that. If Latifi ends his P10 at any point, you've won. I'll take that because he's on the mediums as well. I don't think it's going to happen. If he was on the hard tyres, I'd be like, maybe he could be P10 for a couple of laps. But it's probably not. It's probably not. Alternate said P10 not finish. Yeah, but when you say Latifi P10, it kind of means you finish in P10. But I'll take you on. I'll take you on anyway. If he's in P10 at any point. Leclerc team radio. I missed it. Waffling on about a Latifi bet. This doesn't matter. But Sainz up to P11 now, making nice progress. I said he'd finish in the top 6. He's on for it. Max still lap 12, right behind Leclerc. And Magnussen passes Tsunoda in the pits then. So we've got Leclerc versus Verstappen still nose to tail. Hamilton 6.4 seconds off the lead now. He is just starting to drift again. The top two have just opened up half a second on him in the last lap or two. So Hamilton just dropping off the pace of the front two again. Perez 2.5 seconds behind Hamilton. So despite the early pressure in the first half dozen laps, Lewis is now, dare I say, comfortably third. You know, Perez 3 seconds behind Hamilton. You know, I can see Perez pitting any time now, to be honest with you. 3 seconds behind Lewis and, you know, 9 seconds off the lead. I can see Perez first one in of this leading. And George Russell, only 1.2 behind Perez. Russell quicker than Perez as the camera does pick up that battle now, or what is soon to be a battle. Yeah, George Russell having good pace here in P5 at the moment. Looking at the back of Sergio Perez. Cut to Carlos Sainz then in 11th place, looking at the back of Lance Stroll for P10 and getting into the points. Yeah, Lance Stroll, how long is he going to be able to hold on to this P10? Probably not long, as here comes Carlos Sainz into turn 8 and takes it easily. Oh, he's going to be a little bit wide though. He's locked to front wheel and a little bit wide, so it wasn't that easy. but he is ahead. Carlos Sainz then, by lap 13, has come from the back into the top 10. But if you've got the fastest car on the grid, you've got a good chance of coming through the pack. And Leclerc has pulled a little bit of a gap on Verstappen, yeah. I think Leclerc's out of DRS, as Leclerc now weathered the storm. That is the question now. The live timing's working yet. Seem to be okay. Yeah, Leclerc now has opened up a 1.4 second lead over Max Verstappen as he weathered the storm. Was that it? If he can stay ahead the first dozen laps, has he got it done? No, I'm sure Max will wind it up and come back again. But at the moment, Leclerc has got the measure of Max. 14 laps in. They've dropped loose by 6.5 seconds. Perez three behind Hamilton, and George Russell closing in on Sergio Perez for P4. Yeah, Alonso P6 ahead of both McLarens. Look at that battle for fourth in constructors between Alpine and McLaren. They're on 81 points apiece. They go into this race neck and neck for P4 in constructors, and look at them, nose to tail on the circuit. Alonso 6th for Alpine, Norris 7th for McLaren, Ocon 8th for Alpine, and Ricciardo 9th for McLaren. This is a battle that's going to rage on all season for P4 in constructors. Alpine versus McLaren will be a great thing, a great battle to watch. You know, you've got your battle at the front with your Ferrari and your Red Bull, but there's other stories, there's other things. You know, you've got Haas trying to get 6th in constructors. There's other subplots, you know, that people wouldn't necessarily notice, or that people would just overlook. But this Alpine versus McLaren is going to be very interesting, and I back Alpine. I genuinely back Alpine to get that P4 in constructors. I just feel like Alonso Ocon is a stronger driver pairing than Norris Ricciardo at this moment in time. It's like Gary Neville at this moment in time. Gary Neville mode. But Aston Martin not doing too bad either. You know, they're 11th and 12th. They could get a car in the points, and that's a good race for Aston Martin going off this season. It's not looking like a good afternoon for Alfa Romeo in 16th and 19th. You know, Alfa Romeo had a great first, well, especially on Bottas's side of the garage. They had a great start to the season. Bottas consistently in the points, you know, every single race. You know, getting like 6th and 7th and 9th and then 6th again, 7th, and it's just dropped off. You know, Bottas down there in 16th. I mean, I think he's done the pit stop, and he's on the hard tyres. He's going for an endurance game to the end of the race from there. Slowly catching monkey for Valtteri Bottas today. If he's going to end up with any points, it's going to become late on when he's going to make up the positions on an alternate strategy. But we're on board with Carlos Sainz in P10, catching the McLaren of Daniel Ricciardo, who is on an upward curve. I must admit, you know, I've been slating, as most people have, the form of Daniel Ricciardo, you know, over this year especially. But he's not doing bad. He's in the points, 5 or 6 seconds behind his teammate Lando Norris. Norris in 7th, Ricciardo in 9th, but is now under pressure from the charging Carlos Sainz coming from the back of the grid. But yeah, Ricciardo can snatch a point here today, maybe more. You know, that's got to be the first aim for Daniel Ricciardo after the first half of the season. His aim's just got to be getting in the points consistently, you know, even if it's 9th, 10th, just getting that points. You've got to get rid of these P15 finishes, P13 finishes. He's got to get rid of them, and because especially when you've got Norris, you know, occasionally getting top 6s, and you know, Norris finishing, you know, between 6th and 8th on average. You know, Ricciardo, what, finishing 13th, 14th is not good enough, but looking a bit better today. Looking a bit better today as we head into the second half of the season. And it is a big half of the season for Daniel Ricciardo. As we see a Red Bull in the pits, Max Verstappen from second place on the circuit pits at the end of lap 17. Afternoon, Gary. Welcome to the stream. Latifi took Bottas catching Gasly. Cut one, Latifi led. Max Verstappen comes out of the pits then just ahead of George Russell. How does that work? Oh, no. No, here comes Max Verstappen out of the pits. He's going to be with Lando Norris. He's going to be... So Verstappen comes out of the pits then P7 behind Lando Norris. Yeah, what's Leclerc going to do now? This is where it's crucial. Yeah, so Verstappen comes out P7 on the hard tyres. Is that a one-stop pitting on the end of lap 17? End of lap 16. It's a long way to go on the hard, but I suppose that's what they're trying. But yeah, good afternoon. Here comes Carlos Sainz on Daniel Ricciardo, then down into turn 8. He's got the slipstream, he's got the DRS, and it's a nice move into turn 8. Carlos Sainz up into P9 then, from 19th. He's up 10 positions in the first 17 laps. He's doing well, is Carlos Sainz. And he was rapid in quali as well. Was it Q1? It was either Q1 or Q2. Sainz was a second quicker than everyone else. I feel like it was Q2. He absolutely smashed him. Sainz could have won this race if it wasn't for these engine penalties. He'd certainly have been in contention. You know, he was absolutely rapid in quali, and it's just a shame that he's had to start from the back through to no fault of his own. Oh, Verstappen behind Lando Norris and dives down the inside into Le Boursier, turn 11, and up into P6 then for Max Verstappen. But what's Leclerc going to do now? Here comes Sainz. He's on the move. In my predictions, I had Sainz P2, but then I'm doing my predictions on a Thursday before all the engine penalties were. So Verstappen being told to push because Leclerc hasn't reacted then. Ferrari haven't reacted to Verstappen pitting, so they're on different strategies now, the top two. Yellow flag, oh, someone in the wall. That's a Ferrari. Has Leclerc crashed? Leclerc's put it in the wall. Leclerc has put it in the wall on lap 18 of the French Grand Prix and he's out. What has gone on? Leclerc out of the race. Safety car deployed. Wow. Charles Leclerc dramatically sticks it in the wall on lap 18 and he's out. And Hamilton pits. Wow, no way. Leclerc in the wall, Jordan. They're double stacking at Mercedes, but everyone's diving into the pits now. Perez in. Go on then, George. This is chaos in the pit lane now. I tell you what, this pays off for Lewis. Oh, I'll tell you what. Ferrari, through one way or another, just can't finish the races, man. They've got a fast car, but whether the engine sets on fire, the driver spins, the driver crashes, the flipping brakes blow up, they flipping can't finish races. Ferrari's hopes now rest on Carlos Sainz, who had to start from the back due to an engine penalty. The other drivers put it in the wall. They just can't get it together for one reason or another. They've just not had a smooth run at the season since round 3. Safety car is out. Hamilton leads. Not quite. Not quite. Verstappen leads from Hamilton and Perez. Russell. Vettel up to P5. Stays out. Go on, Seb. 4-time world champion. People sleep on Sebastian Vettel. You know, they don't give him the respect. Man's a 4-time world champion. He's up in P5. He stayed out. Everyone else has pitted. Nah. I'll stay out. What's going on? Right, here's a replay with Charles Leclerc. Right, goes round turn 10. Okay. Oh, does he lose the back end at turn 11? It looks fine. Oh, he just loses the rear end. Oh, mate. He just loses the rear end at turn 11. Oh, no, Charles. This is like a rookie error. It's like a... Oh, you don't... You're fighting for the championship. You can't make unforced errors. Look at that for him with his Ferrari cap. Absolutely good. You can't be doing that, bro. It's amateur hour. Oh, no. Charles. With the mistake. In France. He was leading. He was on the better strategy. They just... Oh, Leclerc screaming on the team radio. It's just unbearable, man. It's just unbearable. It's just mad. Easy. Latifi's 8th. I've just seen the chat. I've just seen the chat. Oh no, I'm dead out here. Latifi's in 8th. Now he's 11th. Now he's dropping down, but it doesn't matter. He's been in the top 10 in it. That was the bet. Oh, right, safety car ending. You've had your moment in the sun. Pure, sheer dumb luck, Chris. Chris, that is sheer dumb luck. And if you know what film that's a quote out of, you get 10 points to Gryffindor. Oh, that's shocking. Oh, mate, I can't believe Leclerc's binned it, man. I mean, really. The thing is, Leclerc could do with winning like 3 or 4 races in a row, not sticking it in the wall. Lewis is on for a P2. Go on then, Lewis. Watch Lewis be quicker than Max now. I'd love it. Imagine Lewis just fully like... He's like, oh, here we go. You know what I mean? Hamilton versus Verstappen. Part 2. Let's go. Oh, I'd love it. We all know Verstappen's just going to romp away at the front now, but I'm trying to add a bit of enthusiasm to it. Oh, mate, I can't believe it. You couldn't write it. You couldn't write that Latifi didn't pit and stay. But it's ended up there, right? So how's this all going to resume with Verstappen in the lead, Hamilton second, Perez, Russell, Alonso now 5th, McLaren's a 6th and 7th, Sainz up to 8th, Ocon 9th, Stroll 10th, Alexander Albon 11th. Right, let's go. Right, safety car's coming in, so I will delete that off the screen. Get the live timings back up, and yeah, you couldn't write it. Ted Kravitz, the best pundit in the world, hands down, Mr. Ted Kravitz, saying it as it is. What a mistake from race leader Charles Leclerc, and what a mistake it was. But the race is underway. The race is back underway in France, and it looks like George Russell's got a run on Sergio Perez. Let's go. Let's go, George. No one really making a move. A set for Carlos Sainz, having a look at Daniel Ricciardo. Bangs it down the inside. Go on, Sainz. Sainz up to P7 then, making mad progress from P19 on the grid up to P7, and we're not even at half race distance. Go on, Sainz. Oh, the Ferrari pressure and hopes and dreams are on Sainz's head now with Leclerc in the wall and out of the race. I can't believe it. Leclerc's got the fastest lap and he's out. That's mad. Yo, Verstappen versus Hamilton. I wish it was. But Hamilton not in equal machinery this year. And Sainz passes both McLarens in the first half of that lap, and he's up to 6th. He's on a madness. Go on, Carlos. And next man on Carlos Sainz's list is Fernando Alonso in P5. Sainz is on a charge, you know. Don't write Sainz off for the win. Imagine if Sainz wins it from here. It's one of the best races of all time. If Sainz wins it from here, mate, it's beast mode. Don't count him out. He's on it. He's having a look at Fernando Alonso into turn 1. Yeah, because listen, he's only what? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 seconds off the lead. If Sainz wins this, mate, it would be the best win since Hamilton won the German Grand Prix in 2017. No. 18, no, 17, 18. One of them two. Hamilton won from 14th on the grid, the German Grand Prix. Won either 2017 or 18. But if Sainz wins this and he's on the charge, it beats that. It would be ridiculous. Yes, Sean, how we doing, bro? Welcome in. Leclerc's put it in the wall, lad. He's worse than me online. Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not worried. Stroll P10. I know. I said it. Covered that base. Stroll 10th and Albon 11th. Go on, Alex. Can he scrape a point? Yellow flag, yellow, sector 3. Has someone else gone off? I heard the crowd be like, whoa, Mick Schumacher spun. Oh no, Magnussen, sorry. Magnussen spun. Wait a minute. Why was it Mick Schumacher and they put Kevin Magnussen's graphic on the screen? Because I clocked it was Schumacher and they put the wrong graphic on the screen and I went with the graphic. I'm an idiot. I go with what I see. I seen a blue helmet. It was Schumacher that spun. I got it right first time round. Trusting the graphics. Get out of here. Schumacher spun anyway. He's carried on. It's not as extreme as Leclerc. He's doing all right, my lad. Zhou Guanyu's pitting for a new nose job. £125,000 nose job, by the way, for Zhou Guanyu. Those front wings don't come cheap. I don't know what he's done to damage it, but they're screwing that on as quickly as they can. Go and get your nuts and bolts tightened, lads. That's 23 out of 52. Here we go for replay then with Zhou Guanyu. Why is he on the inside into turn 11? Oh, because he's side by side with Mick Schumacher. He's racing, bro. Oh, he's hit Schumacher. What are you... Oh, mate, what are you doing? Get out of here, Joe. You can't be hitting my boy Mick like that. You got to give him space, man. Oh, Mick might have turned in on him, but I'm gonna ignore that because I'm a bit biased. You can have a bit of bias. That's no fun, is it? I knew this would be. Verstappen's gone, by the way. We're halfway through. Leclerc retired. Leclerc's mistake. Oh, mate, it's big for the championship as well. If Verstappen goes on to win this, I mean, he's already, what, 38 points behind Verstappen in the championship. He's going to get no points today. And if Verstappen takes the win and fastest lap, he gets another 26. What's 38 plus 26? About 60. It's just going to be a lot of points ahead. And the thing is, you know, what have we got? 10 races to go. You know, I said before, Leclerc needs to... He won in Austria, right? He needed to win this one. He needed to win the next one. He needed 3 or 4 in a row where he goes bang, bang, bang. It's a killer. No, he goes bang, bang, bang. He keeps beating Verstappen. He needed 3 or 4 races where he just kept beating Max over and over again for 3 or 4 races. Then it'd have been game on. But putting it in the wall, bro. You're just taking all the momentum that you've just gained. You know, Ferrari have actually coming off the back of 2 wins in a row. You know, Sainz won the British Grand Prix. Leclerc won in Austria. You're thinking, you know, I'm there thinking they can challenge Red Bull. If the engines don't blow up, they can challenge Red Bull. Goes to France. Flipping Leclerc leads the race, sees off Verstappen as well. He weathered the storm, pulled out a gap on him, puts on new tyres and hits the wall in turn 11. Just as he's starting to get momentum, just as the tides were starting to turn, bang. And now he's going to be 60 points behind in the championship. Are you going to come back from that? And this is not round 3 or 4 anymore. This is you know, Hungary's round 13. You know, we're getting deep. We're getting deep into the season, and a 60, what would be a 62-point deficit or something like that, is a bit of a gap. I'm not going to lie. Hey, you better chill, Sean. I've totally missed the chat. I'm in on a full waffle to myself. Finished 11th in the Williams. Listen, I'm realistic on the game, Jordan, because look where Albon is right now, P11. You see, I've got it on realistic settings because if I'm last in France, I've got it too difficult. If I'm in top 7, top 6, it's too easy. Man finished 11th. Albon, 11th. Bang on. Bang on, lad. It's difficult, but I've got it right. Did Ocon get a time penalty for his collision with Tsunoda? As far as I know, he didn't. No, he didn't. Maybe he should have. Maybe they deemed it as a racing incident. Who knows? They ruined Sainz with an unsafe release and then Leclerc bins it. Yeah. Ferrari 2022. Welcome. Leclerc made my race day. Well, yeah, if you're a Latifi fan, he was briefly in the top 10. I mean, of course, he's back down in 16th now and, you know, just going to drift his way to the end of the race anonymously. As always. But, yeah. I thought Ferrari will have a reliability issue. Exactly. I suspected that Leclerc wouldn't finish the race. In fact, in my predictions, which I'll prove to you right now, I had Leclerc in the bin. Look, DNF. Man knew. But I didn't think it'd be like that. I did not think it would be like that. Well, I had Russell for the win. I'm mad. I am mad. Sainz P2. Possible. Oh, God. I had Red Bull 4th and 5th. You know what I mean? Madman predictions, innit? Red Bull 4th and 5th. I don't know what I was on. But I wasn't in this planet. No, like I say, though, on my predictions, though, listen, it's easy to predict a Verstappen win, innit? You know, I could predict a Verstappen. Do you know, being honest with you, I could virtually predict every race near enough, but how boring is that? I want to predict something outlandish, and then when that comes through one day, bragging rights for years. Because imagine if Russell did win this and Ocon did finish 3rd, nobody else on the entire globe would have predicted that, but your man would have. And then there'd be 1 million people in the next stream. Oh yeah, 1 million live viewers in the next stream. Yeah, oh yeah, this guy, He's got a crystal ball. So, you know what I mean? Up there for thinking, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. Right, in terms of Leclerc not on the podium. Oh, yeah, I don't remember your predictions, but, yeah. And Sainz is charging down George Russell. The thing is, though, Sainz, right? I was on about Sainz getting the win. He's on an alternate strategy. I've just only now clocked. He's on the medium tyres and everyone else is on the hard tyres. So, is Sainz going to go to the end on a set of mediums? I'll probably gambit and say no. So, Leclerc, Sainz might have to do another pit stop. That's his downfall. But he is quick. And, you know, Verstappen's got a 3.5 second lead on Hamilton. But Hamilton, Perez, Russell and Sainz, well, you see it there. They're a second between all four of them. So, but for Sainz to get anything, for Sainz to get on the podium, he's going to have to overtake everyone, pit, and then overtake everyone again. I think. You never know. You never know. He could get another safety car and just blow the whole thing to smithereens again. But that's the way it's looking. You put top three, first Verstappen, second Perez, third Hamilton. No, you never did. That prediction's looking pretty good right now. You know. That prediction is looking bang on. So, well done. But the day I predict a knock-on podium and it comes true, you're never at the end of it. I mean, at least I'm not putting Bottas on the podium anymore. No, that is a bridge too far. Down in 13th. Cut to Carlos Sainz. We're about halfway through the race. Lap 28 of 53. Verstappen with a new fastest lap of a 37.696 for Max Verstappen. Oh, Gasly diving down here. Pierre Gasly on a mad one, diving down the inside, but forgets that you've got to brake into turn 8. Ooh, you know. He forgot that there's, you know, you've got to hit the brakes. And that's you know, you don't want to be forgetting to do that. And the thing is, if you miss that chicane, right, if you miss turn 8, or they do this wild thing where you've got about 7 bollards and you got to go around it, and then another 7 bollards, or you got to steer around, and then another 7 bollards, so you lose like 20 seconds. It's horrible. They've got the same thing in Monza. It's so that people don't just barrel like, oh no, I've missed the corner, wink, and go straight, and just keep the throttle pinned and go straight through. No. You miss the corner, you're driving around many foam boxes, and you're losing out big time. So Gasly's in 15th, so he probably lost a couple of positions trying to make a position. Oh yeah, they know what they're doing. No, nobody's gaining an advantage going straight on at turn 8. Because they could, in theory, they could have the track layout without that chicane and just have a long back straight. I'd love that, but you know, I don't design these circuits. There's someone with a bigger brain than me designing these. But I'd have a long back straight, me. Oh yeah, forget the chicane. I go all in. In fact, I go to Le Mans and get rid of the 2 chicanes. Oh yeah, imagine that. They'd be flat out for like the good part of a minute. That would blow up the engines. Ferrari would be in the bin if they did Le Mans circuit. Oh yeah, that would be something else. It'd be 8th gear at full speed for like a minute. Oh, it'd be a beast. No, but I back the removal of the chicane here, you know. Imagine just flat out. And then the speed you take turn 10. In fact, they probably put the chicane in because the speed they're going to take turn 10 at without that chicane would be wild. But here's Sainz versus Russell then for 4th on the road. And Sainz is going to try round the outside into turn 10. Really? Wheel to wheel there? A bit of a risky one. Hold your breath. Oh, nice. And Carlos Sainz round the outside of George Russell in turn 10. Go on then, Carlos. Mega race. Carlos Sainz is having an absolute mega race. Verstappen's just reached 1,500 laps led. 1,500 laps led for Max Verstappen, and he's 24. 1,500. 15. How many laps has Lewis led? 10,000? Must be. If Verstappen's led 1,500 laps in his career, Lewis must be getting on for 10,000. That's mad. I would never have got that right in a pub quiz. How many laps has Verstappen led? I'd have probably said 400. No. 700. I definitely wouldn't have said 1,500. That'd have been in the bin if that had come up on a quiz. Especially when each race is like 50, 60 laps. He's led a good few races. I don't even know how many races Verstappen has won. What, about 25? More than that? He won about, maybe more than that. He won about 10 last year. He's already won about 6 this year. That's 16 in 2 seasons. Yeah, probably about 25-ish wins for Verstappen. Hamilton 103. Will that ever be beaten? They probably said that about Michael Schumacher though. He had 91 wins. Probably a hell of a lot of people said that'll never be beaten. And then you got Lewis Hamilton dominating for about 8 years in a row. On board with Pierre Gasly, P15. Go on then, Pierre. It's a difficult race for Gasly. His home circuit, this. And AlphaTauri coming with upgrades as well, but it's not paid off. Stuck. Leclerc's crash looks like exactly. That was a mirror image of Vettel, Germany 2018. Hey, in fact, if there's one Formula 1 video I could ever recommend in my life, right, it's this is going to sound boring, but it isn't, right? It's the behind the scenes of the camera crew trying to film the 2018 German Grand Prix when Vettel crashed. You'd have to type in like Germany 2018 race director, something like that, race director, and it'll come up with it. And it's the people behind the scenes that say, go to camera 10, camera 12, track cam, pit lane cam, right? Vettel crashes. I've gone off on a tangent, but there's nothing happening in a race, right? Vettel crashes and they go into overdrive. Go to Vettel, he's crashed. Camera 12, go to pit lane cam, Ferrari cam, crowd, do a replay again. Oh mate, it's unbelievable what goes on behind the scenes. We haven't got a clue what goes on behind the scenes with people deciding what they're going to put on TV next. Like this, for example, they've gone, right, show on board with Lewis Hamilton going wide at turn 2, and bam, they've got to cut to that, and then they're going, yes, good job. Now show replay, slow motion, Carlos Sainz, tyres going off, Carlos Sainz, and mate, it's a whole massive operation that we don't even realise. We don't have a clue, and that is the best Formula 1 video because you hear all the race directors talking to each other. Show this, show that. Vettel really pissed off. You've got to show him he's kicking the gravel. Play the team radio, mate. It's next level. And then people are in his ear going, Stroll spun. He's like, forget about Stroll. This is where the battle is. And then someone else in his ear, Hamilton, in and out of the pits. And he's like, yeah, let's show that quickly. And then he's like, back to Vettel. Mate, these guys are on a different level. I mean, they'd be chilling today. They'd be chilling today. But when it's a dramatic situation, it's incredible. It's a live podcast. I'm not even talking about the race. It's a live podcast. But find it. Anyone that's not seen that, you gotta find it. Germany 2018, something like race director cut. It'll come up. It's about 6-7 minute video. Man, I've watched that about 50 times, just like it's a whole different side that I never knew existed. Right, anyway, back to the thing. I don't even know what's going on. Right, we're on board. The thing is, the fact that they're showing the battle for 14th. Enough said. But yeah, the battle for 14th is Magnussen, Gasly, Latifi. Go Tifi. But yeah, the battle at the front with Leclerc out. I mean, I knew as soon as Leclerc put it in the wall on like lap 20, whatever it was. Signed, sealed, delivered, Verstappen. Game, set, match. You know, if it was a tennis match, as soon as Leclerc put it in the wall, they'd have gone, game, set, match, Verstappen, 6-4, 6-4, 6-3. They would have. But they can't. They've got to see it out, don't they? They can't in the race on lap 21. So we race on, but listen, Hamilton was never going to have the pace of Verstappen. You know, I mean, I'd have loved to see Lewis, like, at the restart, just go for a lunge and try and get a bit of glory. But in reality, you know, Lewis is doing well to keep Perez behind him, actually. You know, that more to the point, Lewis staying P2 is a bit of a win. Yes, Gary. You know. I mean, I suppose during a boring race, it's better than me being stood here in silent going, not the best. Might as well go off on a mad tangent because I love this sport. Despite a relatively mundane French Grand Prix, I do love this sport, so I can just go off on a Germany 2018 tangent if I want. So, yeah. But Lewis is doing well to keep P2, though. He's 1.7 ahead of Sainz. Chris. Here we go. Esteban Ocon with the DRS against Daniel Ricciardo. And this Alpine McLaren battle that I was talking about is never ending. Look at this. Alpine McLaren... It sounds like one team. Alpine and McLaren, both on 81 points midway through the season. And look at them, 6th, 7th, 8th, 6th and 9th Alpine, 7th and 8th McLaren. That's about the same points, isn't it? Is 6th and 9th. How many points is 6th and 9th? I don't know. But 7th and 8th, it's got to be pretty much the same points as 6th and 9th. So this is a full battle. But Ocon fancies P8 off Daniel Ricciardo on lap 36 out of 53. Come on then, Esteban. Stroll P10. Albon still 11th. Can Alex get a point here? He's 2 seconds behind Lance Stroll. Go on, Alex. He's probably been, mind you though, Albon's probably more under pressure from Vettel behind. Vettel only Half a second behind Albon for P11. Stroll team radio. Careful with the what? Lance, we need to be careful with the what? I could have sworn he said, we need to be careful with the chin. It can't be what he said. He's not come on the radio, Lance, we need to be careful with the chin. It can't be that. It sounded like that. I'd rewind the telly, but if I rewound this, I'd probably miss something epic. I rewind. Oh, is anyone else having deg for breakfast, says Lewis. No, I'm not having deg. No, Hamilton talking about tyre degradation. Well, how many laps to go? Like 37 out of 53. 15 laps? 16 laps to go? You don't want to be complaining about tyres with 16 laps to go. Sainz on the mediums, closing up to the back of Sergio Perez for P3. Will Sainz go to the end? Actually, I'd love to, if Sainz doesn't go to the end, I'd love to see him whack a set of soft tyres on it for like a dozen laps. Like low fuel, soft tyres, and just say to him, go for it. Oh, there's Pierre's Gasly's parents look on as Gasly up into P13. Not an ideal race, but look at Carlos Sainz all over the back of Sergio Perez for a podium position. Can Sainz go to the end on these medium tyres on an alternate strategy to the rest of the field? Pretty much. Verstappen fastest lap, 7.2 second lead he's got now over Lewis Hamilton. I mean, barring any reliability, reliability hiccups, Verstappen is, when your rival puts it in the wall, and pretty much the only man that could have challenged him today, then he's pretty much plain sailing. With Sainz coming through from the back, Perez there or thereabouts, but not enough to challenge Max, and been stuck behind Lewis and stuff like that. So Perez hasn't had a phenomenal race to challenge Max, so he's got it on lockdown. But Lewis Hamilton, if he finishes P2, it's the absolute maximum. Mercedes again pulling out big points despite being a second off the pace. I mean, will Lewis end up second? I don't think. It depends about Sainz's tyres. But Hamilton is coming off the back of 3 podium. Oh, Latifi spun. The bet's back off, Chris. Nah, the bet was if he spins, we're back. All bets are cancelled. You spun at turn 1, Latifi. Yeah, man, Nicholas Latifi's not had it. Here we go, a replay on board with it. Oh, he's trying an overtake, that's why. Oh, he's tripped up. They've contact. Wow. Was that with Magnussen or Schumacher? Magnussen, yeah, I could have predicted that. Magnussen ain't gonna give you an inch. That's why I love him. No, man. Yeah, K-Mag. Paul Di Resta saying K-Mag kept his nose in. Of course. It's Kevin Magnussen. If you want to overtake Kevin Magnussen, it's got to be decisive, clean, obvious, and sneaky all at the same time, or else contact. Guarantee you. Yeah, if you try to overtake Kevin Magnussen, it better be a nice, it's going to be decisive. You could start going wheel to wheel into the corner. Oh, do I give him space? Is he going to give me? Oh, you're gone. You can't be side by side with Kevin Magnussen through like a chicane or round a corner, mate. He's not about that life. He doesn't care if he crashes or not. So it's up to you to move out of the way. I love that attitude. I love that in a way. Go on, Kevin. Imagine Kevin in like a championship contending car and doesn't give anybody an inch. It would be chaos. If Magnussen was in a championship contending car, it would be nuts. Like Magnussen versus Verstappen for like the lead of a race. Oh, it'd be absolutely blockbuster. They'd crash every race. They'd both be in the bin every single week if Magnussen was in a championship contending car. I'll tell you that now. Because they both got the same attitude of, I ain't going to give you an inch, mate. You've got to avoid me. I'm coming through. And if you want to try and overtake me, you know, it's like Taken. Good luck. I will hunt you down. I will kill you. Yeah, good luck. Trying to overtake me. It's not come up trumps though, because Magnussen's out. It's not really paid off for him, but you live by the sword, you die by the sword, innit? I think it's better that way. What you want to do? Do you want to have an anonymous race where you don't do anything? Or you're going to go balls to the wall and maybe have a little bit of a nudge and a shove and a little bit of a little bit of a get out of my way and a little bit of a ooh, damn right. You're going to have a little bit of a elbows out situation. I mean, yeah, you can have an anonymous race, let people through, finish 16th. Kevin's not about that. Kevin's never been about that life. I back it. I love it. No spin was mentioned. I'm mentioning the spin now. The spin eradicates the top 10. Yeah. He could have been in top 10 for a lap. But if he's spinning round, deletes it. It's all fair and square now, Chris. Lap 41 of 53 and Carlos Sainz wants to stop. What are you going to do? No, you're not going to catch him. He's too late. The thing is, Carlos Sainz has gone too far into the race now to stop. You've got to just go through to the end now. He's gone too far now. Sainz has just got to see it through. He's right behind Perez. Perez having to defend into turn 8. Look at this then. The battle for P3 is on as we head down to turn 10 then. Here we go then. Sainz versus Perez for the final podium spot of the French Grand Prix. We've got a bit of excitement. Let's go. Side by side into turn 10. Sainz around the outside of Perez, but Perez holds on. Oh, so close. Did they touch? Did they touch then? On the entry to turn 11, I saw a little bit of smoke. Either Sainz locked a front wheel or they had a little bit of contact front wing to rear tyre. But here we go. Battle resumes. Oh, Sainz trying to send up the inside into the second to last corner. He's round the outside. Oh, this is fantastic. He's going to get the inside line to the final hairpin. Go on, Carlos Sainz. But I tell you what, Perez is going to get the switchback. Perez has got the switchback. It's a drag race down to turn 1. Fantastic action. Perez pushing him. Sainz pushing him back to the wall, and Carlos Sainz with the DRS takes third place in the French Grand Prix with 10 laps to go. Come on. Let's go, Carlos. Carlos can finish second here. Carlos Sainz can finish second. He's up to third now. The race has been spiced up a tree. Let's go, guys. Smooth operator. He's a smooth operator. Go on, Sainz. Oh my God, here's George Russell versus Perez. George Russell, damn it, he's going to crash. They're going to crash. What the Oh, George, that was a full lunge. No, George, leave it out, bro. Russell on the madness there. We just cut to George Russell on board as he sends a lunge on Sergio Perez in turn 8. No, that was $1. That was, what's the phrase? A day late and $1 short. That was a day late and $1 short. That's a Martin Brundle quote, that. martinbrundle.com. No, he didn't turn into you, George. You fully lunged it from nowhere, lad. I'm a George Russell fan, but that was ambitious. That was an ambitious situation. No, enjoy it. Yeah, enjoy it. Yeah, enjoy it. P8, not P8. He was 8th. Sainz pits. They're not ready. Oh, it's a nightmare for Carlos Sainz. Oh my God, Sainz has pitted and the team aren't ready. This Ferrari, why? What's he going to do with it in 10 laps? Oh God, 9.3 second pit stop for Carlos Sainz. What are they doing? Ferrari, mate, there's not enough laps left. Why pit now? You may as well just hang on. Oh, and he's on the mediums. He's not even on a set of soft tyres. He's on the mediums. This is ridiculous. I tell you what, they keep him out. Yeah, maybe his tyres are shot at the end, right? They keep him out. They get a P3 or maybe a P4, right? Or what are you going to do? Pit him, put him on a new set of tyres. But he's only got 10 laps. Yeah, George, that's a day late and $1 short, that, George. I'm not going to lie. Ferrari have messed it up for Sainz. Right, Leclerc's binned it. And Ferrari... Oh, Ferrari. Ferrari in 2022, mate. It's just like a pantomime. I mean, watch him end up be rapid now and come through to P3 or whatever. But I mean, lap 44 out of 53. Will he get back up to 5th maybe? But the thing is, mate, the gap between Russell and Alonso is massive. There's a 20-second gap between Russell in 4th and Alonso in 5th. He ain't catching that. He might pass Alonso and finish 5th, but he'd have finished... Oh, yeah, I can't believe Ferrari. They left it too late. If you're going to whack a set of medium tyres on, do it 10 laps ago. Yeah, Sainz is going to overtake the McLarens. And Fernando... But then there's a 20-second gap between Fernando and George. You ain't bridging that. No, George is complaining, but nah, it was a late lunge. Let's go, Sainz. Yeah, I mean, Sainz was on full attack, but the team, they should have just kept him out, man. I mean, maybe they're worried of puncture. Yeah, no, that's not, no. You got to be side by side, George. You got to be front wheel to rear wheel. Nah, George can fight that all he wants on team radio, but he was a day late and $1 short there, man. But the thing is, no damage caused. He can go again. You've still got 8 laps. Yeah, you've still got 8 laps. I wouldn't even be complaining if I was George. I'd be like, right, that was a bit of a dodgy one, but we got away with it. Let's go again. We're quicker. You still got a chance to get him. Exactly. George, keep your head down. You've still got 8 laps to go. You can get him anyway. You're quicker anyway. You'll have another chance. I tell you, they bounce at turn 5, don't they? The front wheel lifts up off the circuit. But no, I fancy George. It could be a double Mercedes podium. Mercedes could end up 2nd and 3rd here. Who had that on predictions? I had Russell for the win. I was a bit over ambitious. I had Russell, Sainz, Ocon. Because I'm mad. But 8 laps to go in the French Grand Prix. And it's Verstappen leading Hamilton by 9.5 seconds. He's 7.5 ahead of Perez. I don't understand that, because Lewis was under pressure from Perez. But Lewis is obviously, yeah, you know, mate. Nah, you know, they're showing that lunge by George again into turn 8. I mean, Perez does defend that very hard. Like, Perez, like, fully, he didn't really give him any space, but it's just about fair enough. And I'd say George shouldn't complain and should just get on with it with that one. But seeing it on board with Perez, he was like running out of space. Carlos Sainz passing Lando Norris. Then is it? In turn 11, Norris just giving him. I think that's the second time Norris has just given Sainz the position. Oh no, was he giving Verstappen the position? Norris not even fighting it. Ricciardo v Ocon replay then. Ocon goes around the outside in turn 10. Whoa, steady. Hold your breath round there. 150 mile an hour. Wow. Ocon takes Ricciardo. Alpine getting more points today with Fernando Alonso P5. I feel like I haven't even mentioned Fernando Alonso, but he's doing a great job. In 5th place. Ocon 8th. Gets more points than 7th and 9th. So if it stays like this, Alpine will be up to P4 in Constructors' Championship. Yeah, mistake. At least Leclerc is admitting that he made a mistake, man. At least he's being the bigger man about it, and he's not saying, "Oh, the brakes, oh this, oh the suspension, oh the tyres." No, at least look at me here. At least Leclerc's just coming out and saying, "Listen, guys, I made a mistake." So fair play, Leclerc, for being the bigger man and admitting when you have messed up. And I feel like that's crucial for the season. I feel like that is critical. A critical error from Charles Leclerc. You know, can he come back from this? You know, if Verstappen wins like it looks like he is with a 10-second lead, or as we see Russell having another look at Perez into turn 8, but you know, if Verstappen wins this, we go to Hungary, and he's going to have 60 points. I mean, Perez will be second in the... Well, no, Perez will be 151, so Perez will get... Well, don't know how many points Perez is going to get because he's under massive pressure from Russell. But let's say Perez finishes 4th. He'll get 12 points for that. So Perez will be on 151, 63. So it'll still be Leclerc second in the championship. But the difference is going to be like 60 points. You know, Leclerc, on the back of this, Leclerc's going to have to win, what, like 7 out of the last 10 races? Something like that, mate. He's going to have to win. I'll tell you this now. Leclerc's going to have to win 7 out of the last 10 races to win this championship now. And what odds are you giving that? 100 to 1. Well, maybe not 100 to 1. 33 to 1. But the point is, there's a big gap. It's a big gap, and we're not around 3 anymore. We're not. You know, we're in the second half of the season now. Look at this battle for P3 though. Perez versus Russell. Go on, Russell. The thing is, oh God, you've got 5 laps left. The thing is, you don't want any contact. You don't want to go 49 laps into a 53 lap race and then bin it. That's the worst. That's the worst. Ooh, a different line into turn 11. But that is the worst. Like a DNF this late into the race is psychologically must be horrendous. So as much as George wants the position, is he going to go for like a massive risk it all kind of a scenario? Maybe not. But I hope he gets the position. You know, he's had a good race as George, and he deserves a podium. I can't believe Hamilton's going to get P2 out of this, despite being a second off the. You know, if Mercedes end up with second and third, despite being a second off the pace of the Ferrari and Red Bulls, it's sort of mad, isn't it? Mercedes get the maximum they can out of each race, don't they? That's the difference. You know, Red Bull don't always finish. I mean, they're looking good today, but Red Bull don't always have both cars finishing the race. Ferrari rarely have both cars finishing the race. But Mercedes, Britain aside, you know, George Russell's first lap incident in Britain aside, always have 2 cars not only finishing the race, but more often than not, both in the top 5, top 6. So they make the absolute most of it. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 2. What's that about? Yellow flag in... Oh, Zhou Guanyu's retired. Zhou Guanyu's stopped out on circuit, but he's... whack it in reverse. What are they going to do? So you've got Zhou Guanyu on the exit of turn 6. So you've got Zhou Guanyu parked up by the barrier at the exit of turn 6. They're getting ready for pit stop. Red Bull are getting ready for pit stops. Really? Yeah, Red Bull are on standby. I don't think they need to throw. They might throw VSC. Yeah, they have thrown VSC. Called it like a champion. Yeah, virtual safety car is out. Well, deployed. So they'll all lap at exactly the same speed. It's like, a good analogy is like putting the cars on one lane on Sky Electric. So they all go round. The gaps stay the same, but they all going round at the same speed. That's what a virtual safety car does. It slows everyone down, but it doesn't bunch everyone up. So everyone will still, in theory, have exactly the same gap to the car in front and to the car behind that they had when it resumes again. So that's what virtual safety car does. But they're just going round at a slower pace. Like putting a load of cars on the same slot on a Sky Electric circuit. They're all going to circle at the same speed, and therefore neutralising the situation and making it safe for the marshals to come out and right, virtual safety car ending. That was quick. VSC ending. Let me get that graphic off the screen in 3, 2, 1. Have they removed the car that quick? That seems rapid. Ending. Why is Russell having to slow down so... No, wait a minute. Why is Russell at a massive disadvantage here? He was right behind Perez. This virtual safety car's been ending for ages. What's going on? Are they ending it or not? Come on. We're on lap 50 out of 53, currently under virtual safety car. Now we go track clear, and the race is back underway. Oh! Russell's gone round. Russell up into P3. Whoa, George, Russell has timed the restart now. When the green flag come out, Russell was on it. I need to see a replay. I was messing about with little graphics and that. Oh, look at the green screen. What's going on there? But George Russell into P3. Incredible stuff. Let me just... Yeah, George Russell has pulled an absolute blinder on the restart there. Right, we don't want that flickering. There's only a few laps left, but... There we go. Wow, so it is Russell versus Perez, but the other way around now. Mercedes are second and third. Unbelievable. Oh. Well, Perez is going to be annoyed with that. I've never seen someone absolutely nail a virtual safety car restart as good as that. I tell you what, Russell absolutely mugged Sergio Perez then when that restarted. It's like 3, 2, 1, go, and Russell to a bang! P3, let's go. 2 laps to go of the French Grand Prix. Mad race again. Yeah, I mean, we've had a dull middle part of the race. You know, I was off on a tangent on a bit of a 20-minute podcast mode. As someone said, as Gary said in the comments half an hour ago, it's like, great podcast. Like, yeah. So it was a bit dull in the middle, but it's had its moments. It's definitely had dramatic moments, whether it's been lunges, you know, Leclerc binning it, wheel-to-wheel action. It has had its moments, this race. You know, it won't go down in history, but it's not been a bad one. And we are right at the finish. Oh yeah, Aston Martin's a nose to tail for P10, by the way. But yeah, Verstappen leading Hamilton by 10 seconds with a lap and a half to go. Look at this, is the battle though. The battle for third. Russell versus Perez. I'm surprised by this. Mercedes with much better race pace. You know, I can't believe I haven't said this up to now, but Mercedes with much better race pace than what they showed in qualifying and in practice. I mean, wow, if Russell wide. Oh, this is not over. This is not over. As Max Verstappen enters the final lap. Yeah, Checo's got the bit between his teeth here. He's like, I've been robbed. Yeah, Checo has been absolutely pickpocketed when that virtual safety car went in, and Perez is absolutely... You can tell, you'd be in the cockpit like that, you'd be absolutely seething. No, Sainz is fifth. Yeah, Sainz is going to finish fifth. Maybe if they kept him out, he'd have been ahead of these two. Maybe. I mean, the truth of the matter is with Carlos Sainz, I think he'd have been fifth either way, whether he'd have pitted or not. I think Carlos Sainz was going to end up P5 either way. But this is the battle for third. Perez having a look into turn 8. This is the final lap. We're going to cut to Max Verstappen, surely, because he's going to be crossing the line any minute now. Perez team radio. Russell went out again. Where did he go? Which bar? Which club? No, but Verstappen is going to win this race as we cut to Verstappen now. Oh, God, they're side by side for third. Perez makes a lunge into turn 11 and nearly hits George Russell, but it's Max Verstappen that comes across the line and wins the 2022 French Grand Prix. Verstappen is victorious in Paul Ricard, but here's the battle for third, rages on, and Perez even tries to dive on the final corner, but it's going to be Hamilton P2 and George Russell P3. Double podium for Mercedes-Benz in France. Who had that predicted after qualifying on Saturday? But I tell you what, that race had its moments, and the Aston Martin's a wheel to wheel. Aston Martin's wheel to wheel for P10. Stroll versus Vettel. Round turn 11. Hey, it's been a good race, this, you know, actually, low key. This is a grandstand finish. It's a grandstand finish for third, and it's a grandstand finish for P. Go on then, Seb. Oh, if Seb lunges now. Oh, if Seb lunges now, all bets are off. Go on then, Seb, dive it. Oh, he's trying to get a perfect line. Oh, Seb might do it. Stroll beats Vettel across the line for the final point. Whoa, that was so close. That ended up being a grandstand finish at the French Grand Prix. That brilliant in the end. Verstappen wins it from Hamilton. Is that the first time Verstappen and Hamilton have been 1-2 since last season? I think so. I think it's the first time we've had Verstappen, Hamilton first and second since Abu Dhabi last year. Oh, well, Verstappen's championship lead now will be massive. That's the problem. With Perez fourth as well. I tell you what, Verstappen's championship lead now could be unassailable. We needed Leclerc, for a close championship battle. We needed Leclerc to win. The pressure's on Ferrari now. Ferrari got to come out and win the next 5 races in a row. Leclerc's got to come out now and win the next 5. Which, odds of that. But Mercedes have had a great race. How Mercedes have come out of that with a second and third is massive. Massive. It is Team Radio with Lewis Hamilton right now, it is an incredible result. Lacking pace. Toto admitting the lacking pace, but second and third. They get the absolute maximum every single week. And Mercedes is such a professional outfit. If their car was a little bit quicker, they'd walk this. With everyone has mechanical issues all over the place. Here's a replay of Perez versus Russell on the final lap. Whoa, he nearly swiped him out then, Perez nearly wiped Russell out then in turn 11 on the final lap. Whoa, that would have been really controversial if Perez had swiped him out there, but he didn't. And Russell gets the P3 right. That's about it from me. That's about it from the French Grand Prix. Oh, I even rhymed. I didn't plan that. But yeah, that was a really enjoyable race. It had a bit of a dull section in the middle of the race, but overall, I really enjoyed that. It had its moments of drama. It had its moments of we got a grandstand finish at the end. They were battling for the lead. They were battling for the podium positions. You can't complain. It was a decent one, and it's ended up with the Max Verstappen. Is that his 7th victory of the year or 8th? Whether it's his 7th win of the year or 8th win of the year, he is pulling it away from Charles Leclerc in the Drivers' Championship and pulling away from Sergio Perez in the Drivers' Championship, who finished 4th. But Max Verstappen wins again, and he's starting to run away with this championship. Mercedes getting the absolute most out of the situation, finishing 2nd and 3rd. We got Perez 4th, Sainz was 5th in the end, despite the Ferrari strategy hiccup. He would have probably finished 5th anyway. Alonso was 6th in the end, Norris 7th, Ocon 8th, Ricciardo 9th, as the Alpine and McLaren battle rages on within 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, nose to tail, and Lance Stroll got the final point for Aston Martin 10th. Low-key, a pretty good race for Lance Stroll, who was challenged in the final corner by teammate Sebastian Vettel. Couldn't get the job done, but yeah, that is about it. Respect Gary, respect to all the viewers. If you have enjoyed it, please do drop me a like. It helps out the channel, gets it up and running, gets me going. But yeah, please do drop me a like, and if you are a Formula 1 fan, then please do consider subscribing, because I'm live again next week in Hungary for 3 guesses. The Hungarian Grand Prix. Yeah, but we'll be live for that. If you are into the Formula 1 game, I will be live tomorrow. We do during midweek a little Formula 1 2022 career mode on the game. I'm driving for Williams. It's not going very well, but I've got it on realistic settings, so what can you say? But yeah, if you like the Formula 1 game, join me for that. If not, the Watchalongs will be back for the Hungarian Grand Prix next weekend. But yeah, hit the like if you've enjoyed it. Peace out, guys. I really enjoyed that race, and we've even got a little bit of a podcast mode in the middle. So, but Max Verstappen wins in France. See you next time, guys. Peace out. Big respect, guys.